Hello, I'm Janet.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Amber.
And we are two girls and a bottle of wine.
Because men like boobs.
And girls like wine.
Happy podcast day, guys. This once a month is better for my life, but I miss you guys so much.
I know.
Yeah, I miss you too. Amber had an Instagram story for this weekend that she had a girls' staycation, and I was so sad that you and I were not part of the girls. I was like, Amber has friends that aren't us? That's not fair.
Amber has a lot of friends.
I know. Being all the way in Florida, I was so sad.
Yeah, we were supposed to go to the Palisades and do the Peach Palisade Festival. But with the road closures and stuff like that going on, we decided that we were just going to do a little staycation.
What road closures?
Glenwood
Fill me
Canyon.
in.
Mudslides.
Mudslides on I-70.
Through Glenwood Canyon.
It was still open, because for a while you couldn't drive on it at all near the Palisades. But then it opened one lane, and we were like, yeah, we're not about trying to spend 8 hours driving to there. So we canceled our reservation at a tiny home that we had and decided that we would just stay downtown and hang out. And these are two ladies that I've become friends with that work in our micro lab at Children's with me.
And what did you guys do?
So Friday, one of us thought that it was going to be a really grand idea. She was like, oh my gosh, so we can go and get these tacos, and then we can go over to Infinite Monkey Theorem, and then we can go hang out at Rhino. We were like, Tiff and I were like, yeah, or a nap. So we ended up walking all the way. So we were staying at, the Embassy Suites across from the conference or the convention center. Mm-hmm. We walked all the way down to 32nd where Infinite Monkey Theorem is. So we walked all the way through Rhino. We did the little graffiti alleys and stuff like that. We went to this cute little Mexican restaurant, but we decided we were so tired. So we just went back and went to bed, honestly, at the hotel. And but the next day, so on Saturday, we had no timelines. So we slept in till 9, hung out at the hotel for a little bit, but then we walked down 16th Street, got some coffee. We got some frozen drinks at outside of Union Station, where we did a lot of people watching. I'm almost positive we were that annoying group that is laughing so loudly. Everyone's like, oh my God, I wish they would just shut up. So we did that. We were there for 4 hours drinking these frozen drinks. Alcoholic drinks. And we then walked to the Cheesecake Factory. And while we were waiting for our table, we actually went over to Blue Agave and we got some margaritas. Our friend Sarah got a flight of margaritas.
Ooh, I love flights.
Tiff and I just got a margarita. But there was this real jerk sitting next to us that was a total asshole because he wanted top shelf tequila, and he had to pay an extra $2 to put the top shelf in his drink, and he was yelling at the bartender. And so he ended up getting seated, and afterward we kind of just talked to the bartender. We were like, oh my God, you handled yourself so well, blah, blah, blah. So he was like, ooh, free shot. So we had a shot of watermelon tequila, and then we were watching the manager. It was actually pretty good. It had a little rough ending on it, but it was okay. And I actually had a sangria margarita, which I've never had before, but it was really good. We were watching the manager of the evening kind of talk to this guy over at his table who was still yelling. And so when he came back, we were like, oh my God, what a jerk. You handled yourself so well. So then he was like, oh my God, you guys are awesome and blah, blah, blah. And then we got free shots of just tequila.
How do you go from watermelon to regular? That's a backslide. No.
It was not okay. So then we went to Cheesecake Factory, where Tiff ordered a shot. Yeah, tequila's the rough. Yeah. But then we got food at Cheesecake Factory. Sarah decided to call it a night. And so Tiff and I were still very well. I forgot. We went to Wally's Tavern, which is a Wisconsin tavern. And so they have a German bar and then the Wisconsin food. So we had a drink there, but a ton of food. We had so much food and drink that last weekend. It was so ridiculous, but it was so good. So across from our hotel was La Boheme. And so Tiff and I went into La Boheme. And we hung out there. And
is that like the fancy way of saying La Boheme, the strip club?
Yes.
Okay. I've been there too.
We hung out with we talked to the ladies.
Recently.
It was a lot of fun. I think like the bouncer guy actually bought our first round of drinks. And we just kind of hung out there and like sat at the tables and gave the ladies, some dollar bills, but we talked to them, and it was interesting to kind of just watch the dynamics of everybody. But all of the women were absolutely gorgeous.
The women like love when other women are in there.
Yeah. It was great. We loved them. So we had a really good time. And then on Sunday, we kind of just woke up, got ready, and went back home, and we're extremely tired the rest of the day.
That sounds like so much fun. I love a staycation because you're not having to deal with the going and the coming back. And I know you guys make fun of me because you're like, let's go. Well, pre-pandemic, you were like, let's go. And I'm like, but if you were to say, let's stay, I'd be like, yes.
And now there's like not going to be any wine country to go tour.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, it's so sad.
So sad. But it was a really nice time, and it was nice that we didn't have any timelines.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you got that because I know you give 150% during the work week. So it's good that you were able to disconnect and just do all the fun things. Nice. And Ashley, you were my first of 3 friends that are moving to Florida. What the heck? Are they paying you guys?
No, I don't. Not that I've heard.
Jeez.
I'll sign up though.
How's the Floridian life?
I love it. We are, I would say, 95% moved in. Our den where like Pat and I both work from home, that is not 100% done yet. I keep telling him I'm going to get it done tonight. And then tonight, of course, I was like, I'm podcasting. Sorry. So tomorrow night. But it's great. Like, weather's great. I mean, it's a little warm right now, but it's going to get better. It's just like chill. It's chill, relax, not stressful. Even like my job is stressful, but not as stressful here. So although the dogs love lizards, and there are a million lizards. And so when we walk them, I'm getting my arm workout in trying to keep them from running after the lizards. So that is what I would call the downfall. But where are your friends moving to in Florida?
Oh, not good. I don't know those answers. Where are you at? Where are you at in Florida?
They're cities. I'm about 40 minutes north of West Palm Beach.
Okay.
So I'm in a little town called Stewart. Got it.
So one of my friends that's moving was like, oh, you have 2 other friends moving? Where'd they go? And I'm like, I don't know, Florida? Until I'm ready to come visit, the details are just like, you're a long the F away, you know? It's not like I can make, plans to just pop in and say hi. So I'm sorry. I know that you are now 40 miles outside of West Palm Beach.
Yeah.
And
40 minutes. I don't know about miles, but that's neither here nor there.
If you're going 60 miles an hour, well, okay. 40 minutes, 40 miles. My math.
So what's crazy, though, and this is the difference between, like, big city Denver and small podunk areas in Florida, is that 40 minutes would barely get me from my house to Amber's house or my house to your house. And that was, like, maybe 15, 20 miles. Mm-hmm. And 40 minutes here gets me, like, halfway up the state.
Oh.
Not really halfway up the state. Like, it gets me, like, pretty far.
That's awesome.
So
it's 40 miles outside of West Palm Beach.
Minutes.
Dang it. 40 minutes outside of West Palm Beach.
I think it's, like, 30 miles. I don't really know. That's because, like, we probably have a listener who's like, oh, I know exactly how far that is. And, like, that's not right. And that's the only reason
so
why I
you're
say
just
that.
outside West Palm Beach.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Ay. And I feel horrible just, like, not knowing those things. But did you know she was right outside West Palm Beach, Amber? Okay, good.
Amber hates Florida. So Amber was like, Florida, and she stopped listening.
Exactly.
I feel like, once all my friends get settled, then maybe I do need to go to Florida, spend a couple days with you guys, spend a couple days with the others, spend a couple days with the others in January with Amber.
Should. For reference, my dad texted me today, and he's in Omaha, which, I mean, nobody likes Omaha. Sorry if you do like Omaha.
I feel like people that live in Omaha tend to like it. Like, Nebraska people are hardcore.
They are. But he's like, oh, it's really hot and humid today. He's like, it's 96 and like 7% humidity. I was like, it's hotter there than it is here right now. So just keep that in mind.
But the hurricanes, anything coming close to you?
No, not yet.
Now that I know where you're at, I can be mindful when I see the news.
Yeah,
I'm a horrible friend.
Luckily for us, that last hurricane decided to just go straight north. So
yeah,
it did not hit us.
That's awesome. Well, we are back. We are here. I don't have anything to share. I haven't been doing anything fun. No, I'm very excited. I'm going to a live podcast again. Remember Grace Helbig? Amber, you went with me.
Yeah.
She's coming back to town, so I'm going to go see her, and I'm very excited.
I saw your friend Monica had news.
Yes, Monica is engaged.
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah, she is super happy. And we were doing that podcast for a while. And life, man.
Yeah.
So, yes, she is engaged and very excited. She wants to have babies. And she's 40. Oh. So she's, the ticking time clock,
A little bit.
Yeah. So I'm very excited for her. He seems like a great guy. I am going to see her in a couple weeks. The week after Labor Day, I am going to California to see her.
Nice.
Yeah. So that'll be fun as well.
Wait, do you know what part of California you're going to go?
Yes, San Francisco.
Oh, I was like, she's lying.
No.
I was waiting for her to be like, yeah, I don't know.
Because I've been there. I've visited her before. That's the only reason I know. And she's lived there for probably 15, 20 years.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. Yeah, so congratulations, Monica. I know she listens to our podcast, but she's usually very behind. But we haven't been posting regularly, so maybe she got caught up.
Right? I know. It's possible.
So, some hot topics. I shared a bunch of links in the Google Doc, and I don't expect us to go through all of them. But you guys already kind of touched on one. I got the big push notification today from Starbucks. Woo, pumpkin spice is back. But then I was pulling some stories to talk about for our podcast, and I'm like, what is this new drink for fall? The apple flavored drink?
Yes.
Tell me about this, girls. You both have had it today?
Yeah.
I did have it today, yeah.
I did too.
Tell me about
what
this.
kind did you have, Amber?
Well, so I had two.
Two, and if I know Amber, they're both ventis, so she's like bouncing off the walls right now.
Yeah, work's been rough, and I work a lot of hours, and I'm really stressed. But my team has been working really hard as well. So, and we've been critically staffed. One of my team members has been out on PTO. So we have one training, and then we have one that's been doing the training, but also trying to keep up on everything else. So today was the last day before the other individual comes back from TO. So I thought I would surprise them with Starbucks. And so I already know what they drink. So when I went to go order ahead for their drinks, I saw that they had the new caramel apple or caramelized spiced apple macchiato. And so I ordered that, but I also had the pumpkin spice cold brew. And I really started to like their cold brews. And to be honest,
It's like the pumpkin spice foam.
Yes. It's like a sweet cream foam or something like that. And it's really good. So I really liked that. I actually liked it a little bit better than I liked this caramel apple macchiato. I think that one was a little too sweetish for me. It's sweet. So I think I might need a little less pumps.
Did you get hot?
I did get hot. Yeah.
I got a cold, and I always do less pumps because their stuff in general is way too sweet for me. So I got a grande and I did 2 pumps instead of 3. I think it comes with 3. And flavor on it is really good, but I have realized that I just hate espresso.
Oh.
And so my mom, who is a Starbucks, I'm not going to call her a junkie. She is definitely a Starbucks regular. She suggested that I do the same drink. I make my own with their cold brew. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So I might do that, make the same drink, but just with cold brew coffee instead of the espresso.
Yeah. I really liked it. I was pretty excited. I think that I'm not to be honest, I'm not a huge pumpkin spice latte fan.
I knew that about you.
I get so excited though because it means there's fall. So I just drink it because I know that fall is coming and I'm so excited that it's going to be fall. So that's really why I drink it.
I don't like fall.
I love fall. I'm so excited.
I love fall. I'm kind of sad that I'm not going to get fall this year, but I am so happy I'm not going to get winter.
Go to Home Depot or go to Hobby Lobby, and you can decorate fall all up in your crib, and it'll be like you have fall. But then when you step outside, you'll have the palm trees. But you can get fall in your house.
Yep.
And I think right now, Hobby Lobby is having all fall decor at 40% off.
Yeah. If I could leave my house decorated with fall decor all year long, I totally would.
Why don't you like fall, Janet?
Because I love summer.
See? And that's why you should come to Florida.
I don't have any. I'm not Amber. I'm not anti-Florida. I just don't travel as much now that I have fur babies because it's a lot of work to get them cared for.
Yeah,
Steve randomly got another cruise ship. Yay. But he leaves on Friday and we only got notified a week and a half ago. And I have this trip to go see Monica. And I'm like, yay. Oh, crap. Rip was rescued. I'm not throwing him in a cage in a kennel. So I was able to scramble. I have it taken care of, but it's just dealing with taking care of the fur babies really stresses me out.
Have you tried care.com? I was just curious.
Where they come to your house?
Yeah, it's they do. I was looking in it for a nanny for Kennedy. But they want astronomical prices. I'm like, I don't even get paid that. But I know they have dog sitters and stuff like that on there. People who will do anything from just come to let them out and feed them to they'll actually stay at your house if you wanted them to.
Yeah. And I will also say, my one employee, she watches dogs all the time. She's not on one of those websites, but I will vouch for her. She is one of my best workers ever. And she is great with dogs. And so if you ever want to meet her and see if she might be somebody that you want to consider. And she actually lives on Anschutz campus, but so she has had dogs stay with her, or she's also done house watching, and she also loves kitty cats. So she's very good. I will sing her praises all day long.
Thankfully, I was able to reach out to my network. Had I not, I definitely would have been reaching out to you guys to be like, do you know anyone? But I promise, if this situation arises in the future, Amber, I will be meeting your employee.
She is the best.
Because Rip is amazing, and I don't have any concerns about him. It's just like I wouldn't ask you to watch Rip because you have a massive dog that would see Rip as a snack.
Oh, no. He does really well. We actually we've watched Nick's aunt's dog before, which is a Shih Tzu. And they do great together.
I'm a protective mom, but okay.
But I understand. But I'm also 8 million years away from you. Yeah. So it's a lot for you to come all the way here or anything like that. So
right. Yeah. So that's why, I used to be much more of a traveler before I fell in love with my dogs. When they were just Steve's dogs and I hadn't really bonded, it was we'll We'll kennel them, whatever. But now it's like my babies. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. Let's see. What else we got? Krispy Kreme has restarted their free donut promotion for vaccinated people, and they've made it even better. You get, let's see.
Oh, there it is.
Two, let's see. Let's see. You can get 2 donuts, I think, between August 30th and September 5th. And then 1 free donut daily for the rest of the year. Yes, you'll be able to get 2 free donuts every day from August 30th to September 5th, and then 1 free donut daily for the rest of the year. I don't know your thoughts about vaccination. I'm just throwing it out there. If you're vaccinated, that's free donuts. I don't know your thoughts on Krispy Kreme, but it's a great deal.
I don't think anyone wants my opinion on COVID vaccines right now. But
I'll give you my opinion on Krispy Kreme, though. They have a killer pumpkin spice donut, so that they are really good at this time of the year for their pumpkin spice donut.
Yeah, I'm probably going to upset people, but I actually like Krispy Kreme better than I like Dunkin' Donuts.
Really phone. Krispies are greasier.
Really? I feel like the opposite.
Weird.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Dunkin' Donuts. So I will say their breakfast sandwiches are really good. So I will give them that. And their iced coffees are pretty good, but it's not my favorite. Like I would rather have like Dutch Brothers or
Dutch Brothers.
I do love my Starbucks, do not get me wrong. So I'd rather have that or even just like a mom and pop shop. I think that they always have like great little concoctions. So I don't know. I think this is great. I think it's a nice way to try and get people to participate and be a part of the vaccine roller coaster that is now our life.
Right.
Because boosters are coming out, people, so get prepared.
Speaking of breakfast, Taco Bell is coming back with breakfast. Did you guys ever do breakfast at Taco Bell? Ashley is hitting her face. Why?
No, I'm just laughing because I think that was a great transition, Janet. Speaking of breakfast,
we were talking about Krispy Kreme and breakfast and Dunkin', and we started to divert, but then I went, no, let's talk about breakfast.
Yeah, that was also why I was laughing, because Janet's like, no, attention up here, baby. I know, I get that now. I'm a mom. I get that.
So did you guys ever eat the Taco Bell breakfast back when it was a thing?
No. I didn't know that it had gone away.
I didn't either.
I didn't know they had it.
What? They had this great, like, country sauce. It was like biscuit. It's like sausage gravy in a Crunchwrap Supreme type situation. It was fantastic with cheese. Oh,
that sounds awful.
Okay, I thought so too.
Take your word for it.
I thought so too, but Steve and I were doing. It was before our trying things videos, but we were like, let's try it. So we got all 3 of the big items on the menu back then, and we tried them all, and that was my favorite. And it looks like they're coming back with the cheesy toasted breakfast burrito with egg, sausage, or bacon and nacho cheese sauce.
And it also looks like they have a new mascot or promoter or words that I can't think of right now in Little Nas. So apparently, I guess I'm assuming actually based on this article, that he must have worked there at some point because he said, life has come full circle. I officially work at Taco Bell again. So he's been named the Chief Impact Officer for the food chain. So he's also promoting Taco Bell breakfast.
Here, Janet, I'm gonna throw you another one. Chief Impact Officer, isn't that the same role that Prince Harry has?
Oh, you are amazing. Speaking of Prince Harry, have you guys been following the fact that there's going to be a movie about Princess Diana? Ashley, I love you. That was fantastic. Have you guys been following this?
I saw it.
I heard.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big fan of the royals currently. I don't follow them. A lot of drama. But growing up, Princess Diana was like, she was a real life princess. when I was young, you know? And when she died, I was in high school and I cried a lot.
I remember, wow, being up. Hold on. Patrick is controlling our Google Home from outside, and he's playing videos of random noises and making the dogs freak out.
Oh my God. Got it.
And my mom is just yelling at the dogs.
That's hilarious.
So, sorry. But I remember being up. I remember my mom let me stay up late to watch her funeral. It was so sad.
Yeah. So sad.
Or early, whatever it was.
So the movie is called Spencer, and it's going to be in theaters in November. And Kristen Stewart stars as Princess Diana. And the pictures of her are wow.
I find it an interesting choice, but the pictures are amazing.
Yeah. I don't know. We haven't talked about this on the podcast, right?
No. I think we've on occasion touched on the royals in general because I've been interested. But we haven't talked about this specifically.
I realized I said no, but I've only been back for one, so I have no idea if you guys have been talking about it.
Thanks for listening, Ashley.
I was a little busy.
I know.
Baby.
Well, I'm very excited.
I haven't listened to any podcasts, but
it doesn't make it better.
It doesn't. So today they released the first footage from the upcoming film. And so I'll definitely share the link in our show notes so that you can take a look at it. But
she does look amazing, I will say. Kristen Stewart looks really good.
Yeah, when they first talked about her starring in it, I was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
That is why they pay the makeup artists, or they should pay them big bucks.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know how to transition to any more of these, but did you see that the man, you remember the Nirvana album Nevermind with the naked baby on the cover?
Yes.
Did you see that he's suing Nirvana?
I did see that.
And alleging child pornography?
Yeah. Like, really, guys?
I'm
I don't know.
sure there were
I
papers signed.
Yeah, I'm sure. I feel like he just wants to be in the news.
Mm-hmm. Like, hey, I'm 30 now. No one really talks about it anymore. Yeah. He's asking for at least $150,000 from each of the defendants, who include the surviving band members Dave Grohl and Chris, Courtney Love, Guy something or other, Heather Perry. It's crazy.
I know. It's... Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm sure, like you said, there has to be paperwork somewhere that where the parents like signed off on it or whatever. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Not to mention, it's been years. Like, I know it's still out there, but it's not like it's the number one selling album in America right now.
No, it's from 1991.
We're just so sensitive these days.
So it says that there wasn't a signed release authorizing the use of the image according to the suit. The family was paid $250.
It was 1992.
Why?
It was a lot of money.
Why is it considered child pornography?
It's a naked baby.
Yeah, his little pee-pee is hanging out on the front cover.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you remember that? Oh, she's younger than us, Amber. Never mind.
Yes.
Never mind.
Nope. Don't remember that.
No. Well, let's jump in to our television shows. What?
Hold on.
Amber, what?
I really would like to talk about this Kanye West article that you posted because WTF.
I didn't know if you'd want to talk Kanye, because Kanye is very polarizing.
I do not understand what is happening here.
He wants to change his name to
Yee?
Again,
why?
Probably trying to get his name in the headlines again. Because what's he, he's getting divorced. And then we haven't really heard anything about him, right?
Like, I don't know. Maybe, like, he wants to be, like, known, like, I just think of, like, old, younger
right, like,
times,
ye old.
Yeah. Maybe he's just, like, I don't know.
So,
I mean,
he's been going by the nickname for years, according to this article from Good Morning America. And he's been referencing himself as the being formerly known as Kanye West. He's trying to prince it up, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess it is probably pronounced yay for like Kanye. Oh. But come on now. You see Y-E and you think ye, and then you go to what Ashley was saying, which was the ye old West back in the day.
Hear ye.
Yeah. And he's talking about, like, what does it say? His upcoming album, Donda, which is set for Thursday night in Chicago.
It's named after his mom. His mom's name was Donda.
Oh, thanks. I was more just going by... the change request came days before Ye's third listening event. Blah, blah, blah. And then his 2 previous listening events also talk about some album, which is named after his late mother, Donda West, will be his 10th studio album and his follow-up to 2019's Jesus is King. Ye, whatever. Why?
Y-E. Y-E.
Okay, that was all.
And before we jump again, there's no good transition for this. Scott Peterson?
Oh, I was like, what are you going to say? I
don't understand what new evidence they think. It was on the Today Show this morning, too.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what new evidence they think they have to prove that he's innocent, because that's what his defense attorneys are saying. And it's some convoluted story about how there was somebody robbing the house across the street, and that person held her captive and then ended up killing her and taking her out to the same place that he happened to be fishing on Christmas Eve. If having the girlfriend and telling the girlfriend that, like, you're separated from your 8-month pregnant wife is not enough, I don't get it.
I've listened to several crime podcasts about this case. That's why I put it in here, because I know we both like the crime podcasts. But I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it, because it is like, yeah, she's saying there's new evidence. She's saying that there's evidence that shows that Lacey was killed after the supposed day and that she was alive when Scott left the house for the day. But the article doesn't really go into what the evidence is. So it's just, but you hear Scott Peterson and it's a headline grabber. Everyone's like, what?
Yeah.
Because we all know that case. Because it's so disturbing.
Yeah. Whatever. If they overturn it, maybe because that's just our law. Like, I do think that, obviously there's so many people who are sitting in jail right now who should be left out, let out. Sorry.
What happened?
Yes.
The Google Home's going off again.
Can you tell him to knock it off? We record once a month. We don't need some pad effects.
I know. I don't remember where I was going with that, but just, it bothers me considering, like I told Pat, I was like, man, I'm really glad that when I was 8 months pregnant, I didn't have to worry about anything like that.
Do you think Lacey thought she had to worry about anything like that? I don't know. No, we don't know her. We don't know them. But
it's hard to say, right? Like, because you don't know inside anybody's marriage, so you don't know how people talk or anything like that. So,
I threaten to kill Nick on a daily basis. So,
speaking of your solicitation, for a divorce lawyer, what the hell?
Oh my God.
Right?
I completely forgot about that.
Amber posted this story and it was on all the socials. I think it was on Snapchat, it was on Instagram and Facebook. So I saw it 3 times at least. And I laughed every gosh darn time.
I had no idea. So when I posted the story, it was like a 4-part video. And I didn't realize that the only portion that posted for the first 30 minutes was me coming online and saying, does anybody know a good divorce lawyer? Because, asking for a friend or something like that. I had no idea until my mom messaged me 30 minutes later and was like, what happened? And I was like, didn't you listen to the story? She was like, Amber, there is no story.
Oh, no, I saw it in its entirety. I didn't see it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because it was definitely on the internet for 30 minutes with no story. All it was me asking for a divorce lawyer.
Yeah, there was a spider situation, and your husband was laughing at you.
Oh, my God. It was a wolf spider. So Nick goes off to take Piper to doggy DP, dog park.
How did you get a wolf spider in your house?
Dude,
Oh
I don't know. And, so I'm like sitting on the couch and I'm getting ready to like sit down and do my little planner thing. Well, I had forgotten. And I was also doing like laundry because we keep blankets all over the couch because of Piper and just whatever. So I was doing laundry, so there were no blankets on the couch. And I leaned over to grab one of my highlighters. And as I lean over, I see in the crack of the couch a huge spider. And I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. So I'm trying to figure out how to kill this damn spider because it's in the crack of the couch. So we've had this spray that kills spiders. I told Nick I didn't spray it on the couch, but I did. So,
I thought he listened to our podcast. He doesn't anymore.
I was going to say, he listens to our podcast, so now he knows.
Maybe he'll be screwing and playing around and not noticing that that's what I said. Because God knows the man cannot, like, pay attention for longer than 3 seconds. So, so I spray this spider, and it goes crawling in further to the couch. And I was like, great, cool. So we have like a little ottoman thing that goes down and like you move it in. So I was like, well, it's probably on the floor, right? So I push down the thing and I like move it back and I've got like a shoe ready. Yeah, there's no spider there. And I was like, oh shit. So I like pushed it all the way in and I bring it back out and this spider is on the fucking couch. And I was like, oh fuck. So I take my shoe and I honestly didn't even think that my shoe was going to cover this spider. I was so nervous. So I kill the spider. I slam the shoe in, like I'm grinding it into the thing. All the meanwhile, I'm also Snapchatting this to a few people. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm over in the kitchen as this dead spider is on the couch because I don't want to touch it. And I was like, maybe I can just leave it until Nick gets home. Or I'm going to burn this bitch down because WTF. So I'm sitting there and I'm like texting Nick, and all of a sudden I see from across the room this spider coming back to life. It starts like moving its legs and then it flips over onto its right side and starts crawling across the fucking couch. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So then I'm just blood curdling screaming, trying to kill the spider and slamming it and like mushing it into the couch. I eventually flushed it. And then later that evening, a centipede crawled out from underneath the couch. And so, needless to say, Nick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with Janet. Maybe it's your couch.
I know.
Or maybe it's time to call an exterminator?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is that we actually have a guy that comes and sprays, but he always sprays just like the outside of the house. So that tends to be the problem, right? Is that they spray the outside and then the bugs come in real quick because they want to try and get away from it. But normally we have like the little pincher bugs and then they just die and then we never see them again. But no, this is not okay. And so Nick thinks this is fucking hilarious. And I am not.
You're traumatized.
I'm not amused.
You're
traumatized. I was scared to stay on the couch. We were watching my niece that night who wanted to sleep on the couch. And I was like, great, cool. I'm going to get eaten by a spider.
Yeah.
There's a spider on the floor right now.
No way.
I'll be back. I'm gonna you guys talk amongst yourselves.
If you've never seen a wolf spider in person before, have you ever seen a wolf spider?
No,
they're very large. I was in high school and I was getting ready. Look, she screamed so loud. Nick came in. And Piper, everyone's coming to the rescue.
Those are nasty.
Yeah, I was in high school and I was getting ready to leave for like the bus, I think, or to school. Maybe I wasn't taking the bus in high school. I don't remember. But my dog started barking like crazy and I was like, what is going on? And I looked down and the step, like where I was just about to step down, there was a huge wolf spider. And it was like, I want to say the size of a baseball, maybe like leaning towards softball size. Mm-hmm. It was huge and gross and disgusting and I freaked out and I don't think I went to school that day. Because I was like, I can't go out the door.
Yeah. So Amber, are you back?
Yeah.
Was it a normal spider or another wolf spider?
It was a normal spider.
It was funny to watch your husband and your dog come in.
Because after I muted myself, I just kept screaming as I tried to kill it. I'm very worked up now. I'm very hot.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you're married still, and I really think you need a different exterminator.
That was a lot, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick said it was karma, so I think I just need a divorce lawyer.
So we want to talk about Big Brother?
Yeah.
Are you guys loving this season? I am loving this season.
I am liking this season a lot.
It's everything I could want Big Brother to be and more.
Yes.
I love that they are all, I mean, when they get evicted and when everything comes down to it, they're all like, it's a game. Like, outside of what might be Brittany, but even she at the end, because I thought maybe she might be a little more upset. But she actually, even in the end, too, was like, you know what? It's a game, and I am just fortunate enough to be here. And she gets to make the jury, and so I've really been liking this season a lot.
Brittany was my favorite.
She started as my favorite, but in the end, I started to get a little irritated.
Brittany was your favorite?
I really liked her spirit.
She was just, I don't know. She's a lot.
She was on the block a lot. I think that would kill anyone.
Yeah. But I felt like there was a portion too, you know, and Janet, you're probably going to be mad at me, but Azza, let it go. Azza is great, but her, like, devotion to Brittany was starting, I mean, and even Derek too, but, like, Azza took it one step further, I felt like. But her devotion to Brittany and, like, trying to keep her and trying to, like, do all of this, especially when they have that alliance that they do with the cookout and everything like that, like, you got to let it go at some point. You got to let her fight for herself. And at the end of the day, I mean, Brittany still, she was very emotional about everything. I understand being on the block. And I guess I don't, because I've never been there. But I also think, like, she didn't win a whole lot, though, either. So it's hard to be like, why were you here?
And the other thing too is that, I mean, to her point, and she said this at the very end, but I never heard her, like, when she was being interviewed by Julie, but I never heard her say it once in the house or, you know, not watching live feeds. So, but she said everyone knew if they were sitting next to me on the block that they would not have been able to win.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Or
I don't agree with that.
On the block, next to me at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final two.
I don't agree with that either.
But you have have to have a lot of confidence to go into that house. So those are some confident people.
Yeah. I don't know. In the end, I was kind of ready for her to go.
So now my favorite is Derek X.
I do. I like Derek X.
I'm still a Kylan fan.
Yeah?
I like Xavier over Kylan. I think Xavier is playing one of the smartest games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's being so strategic about everything he's doing. But I would say at this point, as long as Alyssa doesn't win it, I'm okay with anybody.
Yeah.
Do you think Hannah looks like Meghan Markle?
I can see that a little bit.
Oh yeah, a little.
Next time you watch, you gotta think about that. So we have Sarah Beth, Claire, Derek X, Alyssa, Azza, Derek F, Hannah, Kylan, Tiffany, and Xavier left. And Sarah Beth is the current head of household, and she had nominated Claire and Derek.
Mm-hmm. Yep, as a cover.
Yeah.
As a cover, I believe.
Yes.
To be honest, I kind of hope she backdoors Tiffany. I know she's not going to, but I really want her to.
And then the high roller game made it so that Derek was removed and Xavier went up. That was crazy.
Yeah. That was crazy. But there's no way. Like, I think Xavier's he's gonna pull himself off.
Oh, for sure.
So.
Yeah. This is when he has to win.
Yeah, for sure. And I think he will.
Yeah.
So I think I love this season. It's,
Me too.
Like I said, I'm so excited that I'm so excited that like all the white people went out first. Like essentially. Because like here's the thing is that they're so brilliant. So you can hate Tiffany, but she's brilliant the way she put that
She's
together.
very strategic. She's smart.
She is. I just don't like her, the way she handles certain people sometimes. And I think that I understand her. I don't know. I understand the situation with Derek F. But at the same time, like, it's just very aggressive. Like, she's so strategic. I liked her for a while. And then this last week or two, just like her anger and the extent of it. And sometimes when she talks, it's almost like she's contradicting what she's stating when she talks with Derek. And it's just very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Xavier and I like Hannah. I think those are my two for.
I like Hannah a lot too.
Like winning it all, but
yeah.
The thing about this game is like things happen. Like Xavier being on the block right now, if he doesn't win and the house is smart, they're going to vote him out. He's a strong ass competitor. He needs to be out, and it seems like they're open to doing those big moves.
Yeah. It's like the house is not like I don't know. Like all for nothing. Although I feel like this Cookout Alliance I think that's probably the strongest alliance where they would keep Xavier.
Right.
For that reason. But if there's two Cookout people against each other and Xavier's one of them, they would be stupid not to vote him out.
Yeah. And Derek and Tiffany have had some issues.
Yeah, I think in the end, those will be, depending on how the HOHs go and stuff like that, I think the first cookouts, how do I want to say that? Like the first individuals to like take a shot at each other in the cookout, depending on how it works, is going to be whoever's closest with Derek or Tiffany. They're going to go for the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So is this one of the first times in the history where they haven't revealed like who's on the block for multiple episodes in a row?
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Because I also noticed, because we clicked into the live feed and they weren't having the live feed, and so I'm assuming it's because they wanted to save it all for the viewing of this and how they edited it. But yeah, they weren't showing live feed stuff for a little while.
Interesting.
Because usually you can glean from the live feeds who's on the block.
You can still on Twitter follow along.
Yeah.
There are people that have no lives, and they have Twitter accounts that document the live feed. Like, they can't have a life, Amber. I know that you gave me a look like I was being judgy.
Oh,
no, I'm sure there's multiple people taking shifts, but...
Well, I was thinking to myself, I think I could be one of those people coming up. But you almost have to have no life to like tweet that much. But also I like think about my surgery coming up, and I'm like, maybe I'll watch old school episodes of Big Brother, because what the hell am I going to do for
You can watch it along with Pat and I. We're on season 6, which is Janelle and Kaser's first season.
Love them.
And it's just crazy like how different it is.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I love them.
I'll be watching all the things probably because I won't be able to move for 2 weeks.
Have you watched Virgin River? It's good.
Nope. I remember you mentioning it. I'm putting it on the list.
Yeah, there's several seasons.
I'll be doing nothing but cross stitch and watching TV.
Awesome. I can't wait to get a sweatshirt. What do you cross stitch? My grandma used to cross stitch sweatshirts. I just reverted back to grandma.
I've really so far only done like the little like things, and then I'm going to move towards towels.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll take a towel.
So you make it a hand towel.
I want one of those calendars that you switch out. You make me one of those.
I could do that.
Yeah.
I got plenty of time on my hands. I'm really mad about it, to be honest. Anyways, sidetracked.
Do you want to jump in?
Big Brother.
Well, we kind of did Big Brother. You want to jump into the end of Bachelorette and Bachelor in Paradise?
Oh, yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
We have about 10 minutes left. It's okay if we go over, but I just didn't want to go too over.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Let's do it.
So Bachelorette has ended many weeks ago, but we need to talk about it. So we haven't talked about hometowns and we haven't talked about the finale.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it, Amber?
Oh,
You guys should.
I'm realizing that I don't really have a whole lot of notes because I think like I really just watched it all. But it was hard for me to have a lot to say. But yeah, no, let's do it.
Okay.
You start.
I'll run through the recap. You add your commentary. Does that work for you guys? Okay.
Yeah.
So hometowns, we get down to the three, which is Justin, Blake, and Greg.
Yeah.
Blake introduces Katie to his Canadian roots with maple syrup and a game of darts, hockey, and mechanical moose before introducing her to his mother and siblings. Everything seems wonderful.
But they do kind of comment about how like quickly he falls, and to be honest, I think I've said it before, but Blake gets a bad rap because he's been on 3 Bachelorettes. But I still go back to the first 2. He didn't really have a whole lot of choice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did, but he didn't. But they do comment about how hard he falls, and I can see that about him. He does really put like 150% in every single time.
Yeah, like he studied Claire before he came to be on her season.
Yeah.
And while this is happening, Greg is getting insecure. And he begins to spiral. And does he spiral? Anyway,
Yeah.
Blake expresses to Katie that he was falling in love with Katie and shared that with his family. Yeah. And that's when Katie first, sorry, my notes are several weeks old. That's when Katie first,
I agree,
tells her family that she's only going to tell the final person that she loves them.
Oh, yeah. That comes up later.
Yeah. So it was a fine date. And then we get to Justin, who had a phone conversation with his parents, and they're like, we don't believe in this.
So
We're not coming down.
sad.
So
I felt so bad for him.
It was very sad. So his 2 best friends arrive, and his friends approved of Katie, and Justin ended the night by telling her that he was falling in love with her.
Yep.
And then Greg has a New Jersey-themed hometown date with a tandem bicycle ride before he took Katie to the basketball court. And later the 2 recreated another experience. After a previous kiss in the rain, he turned on the sprinklers, and they made out in the sprinklers. That was lovely.
They did.
They met his mother, his brother, and his best friend. His 2 sisters joined via video recording with his nieces and nephews.
And he got very emotional. He seemed very connected to his family.
Yeah, his dad has passed away, and his family said that they hadn't seen him this happy since his dad had passed away. And Greg was very confident. He said, it's going to be me and her at the end.
Until 10 minutes later.
And then even Katie confided to his mom that he's a front runner and will be around next week. But then Greg pulls a Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
That was intense and stupid.
Oh, so stressful.
So annoying.
So I feel like after this, you were either Team Greg or Team Katie. It was very polarizing. And
I was very much Team Katie.
Me too. Like, maybe he never watched the show. Maybe he didn't understand. But he's this far in. You start with 30-something other men. You can't. I mean, there's not going to be a resolution till the end.
Well, that's kind of been his thing the whole time. Like, this is really hard. And I get it. I'm not saying it's not. I haven't been in that position.
Right.
But, oh my God, buddy, sack up. Mm-hmm. You watch the show. You know what's going to happen. She cannot tell you it's you until the end. But she has given you every single hint that she possibly can and validation. And you lost it because you felt like she wasn't as invested in that one conversation.
Right.
Whoa, buddy.
And so he's like, I'm out of here. And she fights for him. She even says, you've always been my number one.
Yeah.
But
that was ridiculous.
Then he leaves.
Thank God.
And she cries. And then that takes us to the finale. And I was not excited for the finale.
You were not ready for it?
I was not excited.
Oh, not excited.
Because I felt like that episode was so, like, draining. I was like...
Well, I think it's really hard because I do think that she still had really good connections with Blake. But it does make it kind of hard because she sent Justin away. She sends, Greg leaves. And she's still talking to Blake and is like, I wanted to leave, but I want to see this out.
Amber.
But I want to see it out even though there's only like...
We didn't get to the Justin part yet.
Oh, sorry.
Good thing people probably already know about this. I'm sorry. Go ahead with your train of thought.
I don't remember.
I'm so sorry. That was so rude of me.
Okay.
I was like, wait, I definitely know that happened in the finale night, not the hometown.
No, you are correct. That did. That was not during the hometown.
I'm sorry.
I got
mad
nothing.
at me?
It's okay.
So, Fantasy Suites starts the finale night. Blake goes first. There's
he does.
maple syrup, hot tub.
Maple syrup that magically disappears through the evening into the morning.
Right. Maybe that's how he's powered, is shots of maple syrup.
Yeah, shots of maple syrup off of Katie's hoo-ha. Let it go.
So, yeah, I'm obviously in the bedroom with the baby, so Pat's entertaining her with some
Frozen.
Frozen.
Okay. All right.
Now, I do know, I have not listened to it, but I do know that they addressed this maple syrup on the Caitlin Bristow podcast recently. I think it was an episode from earlier this week. They did like a quote unquote double date. And so it was Jason and Caitlin and then Katie and Blake. And they do talk about the maple syrup, but I don't know what the conversation led to. So I haven't listened to Caitlin's podcast in a really long time because I've been all about the crime podcast and these books that I've been listening to. But yeah. Oh, look at her. She's so cute.
Yes. And this is where we know it's over because after the evening portion, Blake says, I love you, and Katie says, I effing love you. And they're off to the fantasy suites. And it's like, okay, she just said she's not going to tell anyone but the final person. Okay, bye, Justin.
Right?
And he gets sent home.
And I always hate it when they like make him sit there, the guy that she's about to send home. The producers know. You can't tell me they don't.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, so tell us how excited you are. And he's like, I'm just so excited. Like, I can see it in the end, blah, blah, blah. And then the next shot is her coming in and being like, yeah, I don't want to see you anymore.
Right.
So
then Katie takes Blake to meet her family. And all I got to say is that was rough.
Yeah, her aunt was out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
That was not, I've seen a lot of memes about it too. That was not women empowerment. That woman hates men.
She has a lot of big D energy.
Yeah, she has some fucking issues that she needs to work out. Because that was not okay.
It did not look good on her.
She wasn't even nice. She wasn't even nice to Katie.
No. And then we see Blake picking out rings with his ex-girlfriend, Tasha. That was a little weird.
Awkward.
Awkward. So awkward. I don't know. Ashley, I feel like...
Was
it
it awkward turtle? No, like awkward turtle.
Oh.
What was that?
I thought you were teaching...
Sign language?
No.
Sign language.
I do. This is eat.
I thought that was... More. Yes, more.
Oh, yeah.
Eat.
I feel like that's what kids learn most is first. Is like most and eat.
All done.
Do you do milk?
Milk.
Or is it milk?
It's milk.
Oh, my. Okay. And then we go to the proposal altar where Blake is going to meet Katie. He fakes her out, says he can't give her what she came here for because she deserves the world. And he gets down on one knee.
That was really annoying when he faked her out.
Proposes, and they live happily ever after.
Yep, they are cute together.
But then we have to watch her
like
talk
them.
to Greg in the hot seat.
Yeah, that was
Why can't
rough.
they just end with the proposal? Happy ever after.
Right?
Wee.
Yeah, well, she clearly has some unresolved feelings there.
Do you think?
Damn. And so help me, as Ashley texted us earlier, or a couple weeks ago, or whenever that was. Yeah, if Greg's the Bachelor, I'm not watching it, Janet.
Okay, we'll have lots of other things to talk about.
He will be my next Nick Viall.
Okay, you use my name. I understand how serious you are. I get it. It's fine.
Not okay.
So Bachelorette ended, and yay for Blake and Katie. I don't want Greg to be the Bachelor either. I don't. If you guys said you wanted to still podcast about it, I would push through. But if you don't, there's lots of other things to talk about once a month.
This is very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I will not watch if it's Greg.
All right, let's quickly talk about Bachelor in Paradise. I love David Spade, but I think he's a little creepy for the age of the women.
Yeah.
He was so funny.
He was, but I'm like, is it funny to them, or are they like creepy old dude?
Yeah, I think it was a little of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I thought him and Demi had the best vibe.
Yeah.
Demi is very different.
I feel like she was
Paradise
drunk
season.
when she walked in, because that to me was like drunk Demi from last time.
Or she was on something.
Damn.
Yeah.
Something.
It's like not her normal personality. It's like Demi to the extreme.
You know, I love Grocery Store Joe, but I'm over him. He's been a little whiny about the Kendall situation. Don't come here if you can't handle it.
It's weird that he's back. So it's weird that he's back, and then there's like nobody else from older seasons.
Well, I hear
So don't
Kendall's
worry,
coming.
Kendall's coming.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I saw
And
the
there's
previews.
probably, I feel like that's when they really bring people in, though, is like as you go along, then it's all the people from the older season. This week, what was it, the third episode? I don't remember, but I'm
so
not
many.
happy with some of the people. There's a lot of hours to watch this weekend. I was watching Blake on his Instagram stories, and he was like, oh my God, he's like, I don't know if I can watch the full 4 hours, guys, but I'm going to try.
Yeah. And his podcast hasn't even been released. As of this morning, I have a job, so I don't listen to podcasts during the day, but in the mornings is when I listen to podcasts, and I'm like, hey, Blake should drop.
Yeah.
Nope, still hasn't dropped. So what do you think of Abigail and Noah?
I think it's an interesting matchup, but I kind of like it for right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've seen enough. That's the problem. It's kind of been very lax. Very, I don't know. I don't really feel like there's a whole lot going on yet.
There's a lot of fast forwarding.
Yeah. There's a lot of, like, for me, there was a lot of, where's Wells and David Spade? Because that's what I was excited
Wells
for.
and David Spade could have a show, and I would listen to it
Yeah.
or watch it or both.
I would too.
I mean, I definitely did like some of David Spade's, like, in little comments. I mean, I only saw him briefly in some clips and stuff like that, and then I watched Monday's episode, which was kind of his last visit there. But he was funny. I liked it.
So Wells
He
said...
had a lot of good lines.
Wells said that the season saw the most kisses the first day. Did you notice that?
Yeah, there was a lot of making out on day one.
A lot.
It just feels like it was a really horny beach this year.
Well, it's probably because these people have been single for the whole pandemic and just touching themselves.
And I feel like in episode 2, we see Demi come back, and we see a lot of rumors being discussed. Did you notice that?
Yes.
A couple at least.
Yeah, good job production, because they were like, oh, did you hear this? Oh, did you hear this? And then they just kept like flipping to all those people. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, there was a rumor about Brendan and Piper dating before the show. Yeah. But, you know, Brendan,
also, why does everybody... I don't like Brendan.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I've never really
He's also
liked
not
him.
attractive.
Yeah, I don't get it. And then there was the whole thing with Victoria P, which I didn't like her from
Yeah,
Peter
I
season.
never.
No.
So, I And
Bye.
And I was going to say that whole drama with her dress thing offline about how they, like, whatever, photoshopped her.
Oh.
I just want to say that her freaking out over nothing on that is just like her personality, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, she is not doing well.
One more thing about Brendan. He totally dissed, like, he's like, no Demi, no Piper.
Yeah.
It's all Natasha. Pissed Demi off.
Yeah, it did. She seems very aggressive this season.
Mm-hmm. And then we had the first rose ceremony after the second episode, where Wells was hosting, and I love that.
I love that, too. I hope he hosts all of them.
Yes, I think he does, from what I hear. Kelsey, Victoria L., and Serena C. Don't get roses, and so they leave.
Fucking Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't...
The door hit her in the ass on the way out.
I feel like she was trying to redeem herself. I liked her better than I liked her on Matt's season.
Okay.
Yeah. I wasn't feeling
she didn't convince me.
I still didn't like Serena C.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of Serena either.
But I like Tammy. I don't remember if we liked Tammy from Peter's season, but I like Tammy now.
Mm-hmm.
I think I liked Tammy in the beginning, and then towards the end of his season, I think I liked her a little less. Because I think that she did get kind of involved in a lot of drama, but at the same time, she does call people out. So, still remains to be seen.
So then that brings us to episode 3, where we have Lance Bass. And I saw somewhere someone was asking, do most of these people even know who NSYNC is? Because Tearing Up My Heart was released the year that Serena P was born.
97,
1997.
98.
97.
Oh, look at me.
Look at
that
you.
was just my brain.
Yeah.
I was like, what was I doing? I think I was like 10, and I was obsessed with them.
I'm sure they all know who NSYNC was, but I bet they have, like, they're just the old guys, you know?
I saw them on Disney. So Disney did, like, a little concert thing, and they had NSYNC and, like, Bewitched. I don't know if you remember them, but...
Yeah.
That was like they like did these little concert series and NSYNC was on there, and that was my first introduction to NSYNC, and I was like, oh my god, who are these guys? They're so hot. They're amazing. And I was like 10.
That's awesome. But, so we have Lance, and now we have Thomas.
Oh, Thomas.
That was a slow reaction.
Yeah.
Can we give him the benefit of the doubt?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not allowed.
Well, just because in the previews, doesn't he like kind of get with Becca, and we like Becca, so.
Oh, I haven't seen the previews, but I don't know. I mean, I think he just flip-flops so much, and I often feel like he's just saying what he thinks he's supposed to say in the moment to get him out of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me nervous, and I don't like it.
He goes on a date, though, with Serena and freaks Joe out. But then Serena comes back and is like, no, I'm not all about the drama. And Joe's a happy guy.
Yeah, that conversation was a little awkward, but whatever.
Joe is awkward.
Yeah.
And Thomas has drama, trying to get people to stop talking crap about him.
Yep. When does Riley arrive?
Riley comes in next. Yeah. And everyone is like fawning over him. And that's when Taejeon lets us know that that's why she's there.
Oh, yeah. She goes down a rabbit hole of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't remember. Oh, Riley. Yeah, the one with the big arm muscles. He was like a lawyer, right?
He's got such a tiny little head.
Yeah, he does.
And he picks Marissa to go on a date.
Yeah, which really pisses off what's-her-face.
Taejeon?
Taejeon, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you see kind of Trey, like, trying to figure out what the hell's going on, because she obviously seems pissed. So I have a hard time with that kind of stuff, too, which, I mean, is the whole, like, history of Bachelor world. But, it's like, okay, well, Riley didn't pick me, so I guess I'm just going to stay with you, Trey.
Right.
Even though I was super mad. And I actually really like Trey. And so I kind of hope somebody comes along that sweeps him off of his feet that isn't Tajwan.
Yeah, I don't like Tajwan. I mean, she's good for comedic purpose, like value, but as like a person who wants to find love, I'm not in her boat. I like Trey though.
Yeah, I like Trey a lot. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Those are my notes. Did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it hasn't been super eventful yet.
I think Demi's entrance and Thomas were the most, and Joe being a whiny guy, that's the most eventful pieces I've really taken away so far.
It's kind of been pretty lax. I'll say, I feel like the best line, though, went to David Spade on his exit interview at the end of the second episode, where he's like, I can't wait to see these people on Cameo. I'm going to make them say happy birthday to me for $9.
That's the best.
I do love him. I really love him.
I know. I was actually kind of hoping almost that he would like be there the whole time, but nope. I'm really not like, I don't know. I'll be interested to see how the rest of the guest hosts do. Oh, we also had that weird date where they had to eat weird things or admit
I bet you hated that.
Actually, I loved it.
Oh.
Because I liked that they got to eat weird things, but I also find it weird that like some of it they wouldn't talk about. Like, what is your most embarrassing story? I can't even choose between 5 of them, but I know that I've said them all on this podcast.
Yeah, you have no shame.
I have no shame.
But on national TV, do you think you'd still be that way?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't a fill in the blank. Fill in the blank.
I mean, these embarrassing moments, they help us share and feel relatable, and they help others feel better.
No, I know. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. So what are you guys listening to? What are you watching? What are you reading?
So I have started watching Love Life with Anna Kendrick on TBS. I actually really like it. But I'm a huge Anna Kendrick fan. So it's only been like 2 episodes, I think. Maybe the 3rd one recorded this last Sunday, and I don't think I've watched that one yet. But I really like it because each episode is like a chapter from her life as to how she gets to where she is. Mm-hmm. And it's very relatable. So, you're kind of able to see yourself, I think, in the relationships that she's in and the changes that she makes to herself and how she's just trying to find her way. So I've been watching that. Am I going to write down the list? Because I can tell you what I've been listening to.
Do it.
All right. So Dr. Death has come out with a new season.
No, don't. It was on mine. I'm kidding. But it was on mine. Go ahead.
So I've been listening to Miracle Man. Sorry, I just saw something come through my computer. And so Miracle Man.
There's only like 3 episodes that have dropped, right?
Oh, yeah.
And if you try and hit...
episode just dropped yesterday.
But yesterday, see, I'm not seeing that. And I go to try and download them, and it says I have to join the Wondery Plus.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. I've just been using Pocket Cast. So I haven't had any issues getting them downloaded. But it is another story about a surgeon who, his name is Paolo, I believe, right? Paulo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a similar story to season 1 almost, where he has different surgeries that are supposed to be this huge like breakthrough in tracheas. I remember is like the first story and kind of all of these things. But he sweeps a woman off of her feet who is telling the story about who he is and all of these miraculous surgeries. And she ends up finding out along the way that all of these small red flags that she kind of ignored really end up being a huge deal. And so I'm not really sure where it goes from here. And maybe you can cover a little bit more when you talk about it. I don't know.
No, because I've only been able to listen to, I looked at my library, only 2 episodes, and it shows 3 and 4, but when I go to download it, it says I have to join the Wondery app, so I don't know if I have to wait a little bit. I don't want to spoil anything, but the Pope piece of the story, about the Pope, I was like, no way, no way, no way.
Yeah.
I was so, and like all of her friends are like falling for him, except like one or two, and they're like, hey, no, something's up. And she's a smart lady. She was working at 30 Rock. She was working for NBC. She had a great job. And she left to move to Spain to be with him and near his ex and his kids.
Yeah. It just is very interesting because he's definitely keeping secrets. Mm-hmm. And there's a story about a little girl. And like you said, I don't want to ruin anything. I think it's definitely worth a listen.
Agreed.
So definitely listen to that. And To Live and Die has also come out with
Amber!
Okay. Let me tell you about the book I'm listening to.
No, I'm kidding.
I love To Live and Die.
I'm joking. I am joking.
Do you have another one?
This is why we're friends, because we have very similar tastes. Go ahead and talk about To Live and Die in LA season 2. Yes, they have another one, Ashley.
Yes. And it's a very interesting story, I think. So I have only listened to 4 episodes. But it's about a woman named Elaine who goes missing and is, there's a whole story about how like she's been sexually assaulted at a concert, and he's working, the gentleman Neil Strauss, who is the journalist who did the first season of To Live and Die in LA. He's working with Jaden in this, and it's a little confusing for me, to be honest, because it sounds like this is something that he's been working on since 2018, like 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think this is going to be a spoiler alert because he says it in the first episode, but something happens along this story and along this journey of figuring out what happened to Elaine and how because I believe that she was found dead, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So somehow along the way, him and his wife end up getting a divorce because of what happened during this journey. Because his wife was actually the one who alerted him to this story. And it was something that she felt really passionate about. And so they kind of joined this journey and search to figure out originally where Elaine was, what happened to her. And then naked baby. And it's just, I don't know. I love the way Neil tells his stories.
I do,
to be honest.
I do too. And I have listened to all except the bonus episode. I'm hoping there's more episodes coming. I asked my girlfriend, who's also listening, I was like, so I listened to all of them in a week and I need more. Do you think there's more? She's like, oh, I'm sure there's more. And I believe the way he left the last episode that I listened to, it does sound like there's more coming. And hopefully we'll get some closure when it comes to his ex-wife and all of that. And it's not, I haven't Googled. I don't want to know. I want to hear how it plays out. She shut off the lights so the baby can chill?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Pat shut off the lights.
Hi.
Yeah, good job. I didn't even have to say it.
Pat really, really likes to mess with us during podcasting.
Yeah.
All right. What are you reading?
So I just finished reading Between Two Kingdoms, which is a memoir of a life interrupted, and it's by Suleika Jayod. I think is how you say her last name. This was actually a book that was recommended to me by my oncologist. There have been a lot of things that I've been struggling with, and this is something that she's been recommending for a while, and I haven't been in a place where I felt that I could listen to it. And it is a story about Suleika. She tells the story herself. She wrote it. She does the audible. And it is a story about how when she was in her early 20s, she developed leukemia. And it's her journey of being between those two worlds of kind of before cancer and after cancer and trying to figure out how you find your place in the world again. But she does it in such an amazing way. I mean, she really tells the story of kind of leading into what her life was like before she was diagnosed with cancer and some of these small little flags that obviously later on you realize was leukemia. And it was the early stages and how she ended up finding it out and the story of her love life but also just meeting the people that she did along the journey. And then towards the later half of the book, it does talk a lot about finding your place again and trying to work on your way to understanding who you are now. And it's very relatable, and it's something that I think you can read whether you've been through cancer or whether you've known someone or you've never been through it. I think it gives a really good insight into what those of us that have been through cancer kind of go through, and a little bit of insight into it. And I found it was really hard in the beginning, to be honest, but I really found it a great listen for me and something to kind of help me recategorize things in my head and understand that I'm not alone. So I highly recommend it for just about anyone.
Awesome.
Yeah. What about you?
I've been listening to so many books. I think every podcast I'm like, I've listened to this and this and this book. So I've been really focused on catching up with all the podcasts I'm behind on. But since our last podcast, I did finish the book The Guest List by Lucy Foley. It's on Reese Witherspoon's book club list, and it's again another psychological thriller. It takes place at this wedding in this island with narrated by several different people within the story, including the bride-to-be, the groom-to-be, and the twists and turns at the end just leave you going, what? And that's why I love psychological thrillers. I love it because you follow along, and then it's like car wreck, and where did that come from? I love it.
Yeah, I've read that book. It's really good.
Oh, have you already shared it on the podcast?
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that part.
You have to call me out, man. Sorry.
It was a while ago. It was months ago. It's fine.
Well, I reiterate.
It is a really good book. I highly recommend.
Music-wise, I got some music. Go ahead.
I've been reading.
Oh, sorry.
The Little Blue Truck.
Is that like a 10 or 12 page book?
I was like, do you have time to read
a board book? And corduroy. What else? Oh, If Animals Kiss Like We Kiss Goodnight. Thank you, Pat.
That's amazing.
What's her other favorite? There's another book that it's Three Little Birds, like by Bob Marley's, like, I think one of his daughters.
Oh, cool.
That is awesome.
It's a cute book. Yeah. So those are my books.
Well, we know you're listening to Let It Go.
Yes.
I've been listening. Casey Musgraves has a new song called Star-Crossed.
Yeah, she has one. And didn't Kelsey Ballerini or somebody just come out with a new album? Or it's about to be released, and only one of the songs was there. I just had the notification on my phone yesterday or this morning.
Oh, I don't know.
Or maybe it was Casey Musgraves.
Casey Musgraves has one song that's dropped of her upcoming album.
That might be what I'm thinking.
Yes. And another song. Where is it? Have you listened to Fancy Like?
No.
Okay. We talked about it on the last podcast. It's by not Morgan Wallen. I forget his name.
No,
yes.
I think I did download it.
It's the TikTok guy. I downloaded TikTok again. Such a time suck. Anyway, that's what I got. What do you got?
That's it. I got nothing.
Okay. Ashley, what you been listening to? Sorry, I thought you were busy with the baby. I didn't try to exclude you.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I haven't been listening to anything. I'm
Let it go.
I'm so behind in life. Like,
no, you're not. You're right where you need to be.
Yeah. So it's pop culture and stuff is just not my forte right now.
Understood. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for the podcast. Anything else you guys got to add before we wrap it up?
I don't think so.
Nope.
We will be back next month with an all-new Two Girls and a Bottle of Wine. In the meantime, feel free to reach out to us if there's anything you want us to talk about. Share stories with us. We'll talk about them. All right, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.